am so excited. I am so honored to sit next to just such amazing, beautiful, and talented women. I'm just so grateful for your yes. Thank you so much for saying yes. Thank you. I told a few of you all backstage, thank you for your gift. Thank you for your talent. Thank you for your artistry, because you never know who's on the other side of that screen. And you bring so much hope and joy into the lives of many. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Before we get started, I want to center us and ground us, because there's so much happening in the world right now. How are you? How are you?
Here. I'm here.
Yeah.
I woke up and I'm here.
Yeah.
It's,
It's a tough time right now. I was talking to a friend who released a book, and I helped her talk back yesterday. And my natural set point is joy. It's hard to find it right now. You know what I mean? It's hard to be in this environment in this country right now and realize that there's so many people that are joyful when other people suffer. That's what November was about. It was people voting for the suffering of other people. And the only reason they're waking up now is because it's now hitting them. So when you realize that they only care when their family member is going to lose health care, they only care when they are being rounded up, that to me is just devastating in my spirit. So it's very hard. It's very hard.
What about you, Taylor?
I am, like Yvette said, I choose joy. So I am joyful. I'm very grateful and honored to be here in this space. So right now, which is what I tend to root myself in, is where I am right now. That's what I can control.
Right.
I feel good. I do feel good. But if I start thinking, you got to control your thoughts.
Yes.
So I'm choosing to be joyful and present. I'm here.
I love that. What about you, Jalen?
I'm really grateful to be here. And I didn't get a chance to talk to Miss Yvette, but I am so excited to be sitting next to her. Hey, baby! Because you've done so much. And, watching you growing up and you always being the comedic relief. And obviously, I know that your resume goes real deep, girl. But I'm so appreciative to be on this panel with you guys.
Pumpkin.
Like,
So
not drinking Josh, you know what I mean? Like, my God.
One of my little babies, one of my Drake and Josh babies.
But I'm like, gee.
I love that. And before we jump into the questions, I really want to thank the SAG-AFTRA Foundation for really creating this conversation, because it's so timely, it's so necessary. So thank you so much. So the first question I want to get into is, did you choose this field of acting, or did acting choose you?
It chose me. For sure. Born and raised in Nigeria, so my choices were lawyer, doctor, engineer, that kind of stuff. And I was pre-law, and I was like, I'm just going to take one last acting class, because I'd been acting in high school, just one last one. And I walked out onto the stage, because the class was adjacent to the stage, and I wanted to sign up early. And I looked out into the auditorium and I started to cry. And I thought, oh God, I guess I've got to do this forever. Yeah. So at the risk of being disowned, I did, yeah.
You did.
I chose it. I chose it. I think when I was about 8 years old, I think it was seeing like All That and what was going on at Nickelodeon.
You
I
were
remember
8
All That. I
when
love
All
that.
That came out.
I was too, Taylor. I was too.
But I was like, I want to do that. Why not? I loved Raven Simone. I loved Disney. And so I started modeling and doing commercials and things like that. I'm from Houston, so I didn't grow up in a place. I didn't grow up in a place where, I didn't grow up here in LA. So I just started with what I had, and I never thought that it would be difficult until I became an adult. And then it was like, oh, should I have gotten a job? I went to college, have a degree in film. Should I have done something else? Then the doubt started to come in, and I think it chose me, because there were many times where I'd be like, God, if there's anything else I'm supposed to do, please let me know. Whatever you want me to do. And it would be like forward progression. It'd be like, just hold on. Just hold on.
I still do that though sometimes, like between jobs every now and then. I'm like,
Anything.
so should I still be doing something else because this is hard? It's easier.
You want to go, baby?
No, you go.
I think it chose me. I started as a singer, and I thought that is what I was going to do. I also thought I would be a talk show host. So that was where my focus was. That's what my degree is in, journalism. And then singing was like, no, thank you. I don't want you. And so I feel like you got to go in the direction of what is reaching for you. And I did a couple of commercials, and it just kind of took off. Then I did Girlfriends, and I did Drake and Josh, and it was like everything just kept pulling for me and calling for me. And so, because I'm not trained, I tell people all the time, I'm a hack. I'm not trained in acting.
She is
I don't
not.
I'm
a
telling
hack.
you.
She is naturally
I'd be on
gifted.
set like, let me steal this from her. Let me steal it. So I don't have the toolbox that other actors have. So I feel like the Lord would strike me down if I said I chose this, because I didn't. But I am very grateful that this is the way I make my living, because this is the thing that's important, you guys. We're all actors in here, but it's important. Hey, sis, love your work. It's important to also think about what your calling and your purpose is, right? And it is not a vocation. Your calling is not a vocation. It's not a job. My calling is to celebrate people and support people. I'm a cheerleader of people. I did that at Toys R Us at Christmas time. I did that, in office jobs that I had as a temp. I do that on set. So when I book a job, it's not to make me great. It's not for my name to get out there. There is someone on that set I'm supposed to be a respite for, or a safe place to land. And so I get on set the first day and go, who is it? Who am I supposed to? And I go right to them, and I have my moment, and the rest of the production is the same thing. So I know that I was placed in this career because there are people that will need me. But it's not about, I want to be, it's never been that for me. I'm just excited that I get to do this.
I've worked with her on 2 shows, and it is true. And she makes every room that she walks into better. You do. You do.
It's my friend. I'm a friend.
I definitely feel like acting chose me. I always say that it kind of fell into my lap, right? So I started acting when I was like 13 years old. And first it was like, okay, am I going to be good at this? I don't really know what I'm doing. So I went to go audition for a Bratz commercial. And then I happened to book it.
How could you not?
A life-size brat.
And I was like, you know what? I kind of like this. I kind of like the competition of it, when you're younger. And I did competitive dance for a long time. So I was just like, hold on, this is feeding my soul. And then I kept going. And, I feel like I'm barely starting to get into my actor bag, when before I felt like I was just acting. But I love it so much because you get to see all different kinds of places in the world, meet different kinds of people, be on a panel with Miss Yvette. So
Yes. I love that. Jalen, you just talked about feeding your soul. I want to ask you, when you think about acting, how does it serve you? How does acting serve you?
Come on and be in your bag tonight. My Lord.
Honestly, for me, I think it is definitely tied to purpose when it comes to story, when it comes to the act of acting and making a project in and of itself, the people that you meet. But because we are in a room full of actors, selfishly, I love it. And it feeds my soul to work. To get a script, and I had to change my mindset even when it came to auditions, to use it as a moment to do what you love to do and detach from the outcome. And regardless if it's an audition, if it's a callback, if it's an actual booking, the opportunity to act, to play, to tell a story, to try on someone else's shoes, to live and be able to empathize in action with somebody else, that feeds my soul. I'm a person that thrives on connection. So being able to understand how other people think makes me happy. And that is part of what we do.
That's a calling. That's a calling.
I mean, it feeds my soul because it helps me discover the woman I am in the moment, right? Because I'm still trying to figure it out. And every time I play a different character, I go on set and I'm able to discover maybe the most beautiful parts of myself or even the ugliest parts of myself. And I'm always accepting of the ugly because that's when the beautiful can come through, right? And I just carry it with me all the time. I'm like, okay, this is the kind of woman I am right now. I'm going to settle into that. She's imperfect. Is this character imperfect? And that's what I can really relate to and be okay sitting in that imperfectness, if that makes any sense at all. to my actors in the room.
When you think about preparing for,
like-
oh, go ahead.
Okay. Mine is like so the opposite. I realized recently in talking to another actor about this that as Black people, and most especially Black women, we mask all the time. We, mask every day, especially if we are in an environment where it is not majority us, right? So I actually realized that when I am on set and when I am acting, I actually have the permission to be myself. So I am able to really, truly be who I am. Not initially when I first started my career, because I just was always like, I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. But now, I'm just kind of like, I get to do this. I get paid to do what I love and have fun with people and play. And I literally am able to be exactly who I am. And that's what I love about it is I get to work and I get onto set and I'm away from my car and the supermarket and whatever and all the other people I have to mask around, and I get to just be me and do what I love.
I'm so glad that you said that. When you talk about masking, Dr. Maya Angelou, she wrote a poem about masking and how us as Black women, we wear the mask that laughs to conceal our pain, to conceal us from crying. And in this profession, in this gift, you have to tap into all of these different emotions. When you talk about masking, at what point in your careers did you realize you were either wearing a mask that didn't serve you and you had to unmask when it comes to embracing who you are and your authentic nature? Or did you ever wear that mask?
I know exactly when. So I am a breast cancer survivor. It's October. Everybody check your boobies. Check them. And I worked through my entire treatment. And when I started on Frasier, I was 2 weeks out of chemo. And I had a 3-year-old at the time. And I would show up to set and I literally, like, all I could do was like stay awake and know my lines, and I didn't have the energy to be or do anything other than tokes, right? I just didn't have the energy. And I realized that I was enjoying it so much more because I wasn't worried. I couldn't have cared less about what anybody else thought. I really didn't care. I just wanted to be myself, which is, Black women at our core, we're joy-filled. We just are. We choose joy. We have, for some reason, had to kind of choose to give a hard exterior so that people don't mess with us, right? But inside, we are joyful. We are joyful beings. And I was able to kind of just do that and be that because I didn't have energy for anything else, and that's when I was like, oh, I'm going to be like this forevermore because it feels better.
I'm the elder statesman up here, stateswoman. I don't think I wear a mask anywhere in my life. That's a lie. That's a lie. What I mean is that I endeavor not to wear a mask anywhere in my life. I think anyone that's met me in real life and on set or here, this is what you get. I'm the same person no matter what, right? But as I crossed over the threshold of 40, and then over the threshold of 50, I stopped caring whether people got me. Because I spent a lot of years, because I'm a people pleaser and I like people. So I spent a lot of years doing things because I wanted people to be okay and I wanted people to like me. I wanted people to be okay. Aside from the calling, this was my mess that I was doing myself, just driving myself crazy. And then you get to an age or because of an illness where you just don't have the energy or the inclination to do it anymore. And so now as an actor, I no longer am acting to please anyone. This is what I got. This is the toolbox I'm working from. It will either be what you need for this role or it will not. And if it's not, I'm actually okay with it because I'd rather be home sleeping or something. You know what I mean? Like I'm 54, y'all. I'm tired. I am very tired. So if I don't get the role, I'm like, I'm supposed to be home with my husband and my dog and checking on my daddy. So it's a whole different vibe now. I think we have worn our masks as Black people and especially Black women for safety. It has always been to make sure, because we're not understood and we are not celebrated and our labor is not appreciated for most of the time. So we wear the mask, one, so no one knows they got us if they got us, because it hurts to not be appreciated and seen, right? So we wear the mask like, you ain't gonna get me, you ain't gonna know you got me. And then we also wear the mask so we don't show them where it hurts. You didn't shank me, but you ain't gonna know where I'm bleeding, right? So it's a whole different way that we move. But I feel like there's so much power in showing up as yourself, unapologetically, and not rude or mean or anything like that, but just showing up like, this is what I got, and I'm supposed to be here, and I deserve to be here. And so I'm in that space now, and in this space, realizing other things I can do, because I've been a comedy chick for most of my career. And now I'm starting to do dramas. I'm doing, I did 2 guest stars I did Criminal Minds and Matlock this season. And that's huge for a comedy girl to be able to do a drama and 2 different types of characters.
She's a certified badass.
You know what? This is my friend. This is my friend. But, so it's important to stretch yourself. And I think in this age, I'm starting to stretch a little bit and let the mask slip a little bit. Yeah.
I love that. What about you, Taylor?
I think that that's something that I'm actively learning. And I think it does come with, I'm not even going to say age maturity.
It's all right.
Life experience. No, seriously.
So
Because
old,
maybe
so
it hits
old.
people at different points. Yeah. But I think in my personal life, I got married last year.
When? So did I. When'd you get married?
May 2024.
I got married in December 2024. Girl, hey. I newlywed.
But I think that as I started to mature in my real life, as well as growing in my career, like they were saying, I don't have the capacity, and I also don't have the time to mask who I am. I don't have the energy. I'm pulled in so many different directions that I started just showing up fully as myself. But the positive to that is it allows people to rise to meet you. I would often think, I'm too much, let me temper that. Let me not wear this. Don't be that. Don't be too much. I felt like that majority of my life, I felt much bigger than my environment. And it was like, okay, I can't change my environment, but the environment's just gonna have to adjust with me. So if this is how I'm working, I want you to work like that too. And now I am unlearning that. I'm not too much. And maybe I am too much for some people, but that's not your people.
You know who never thinks they're too much? White men.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, is that what you feel about yourself, or is that how you have been made to feel about yourself?
Made to when I was a child, made to feel.
Right. So I think that it's something that I say a lot when I'm advocating during October Breast Cancer Awareness Month, is, we tend to, when we're raising our children, shh, that's too much, that's too loud, that's too this. We have to stop doing that, especially to girls and children of color, because what you are doing is you are teaching your child, you are too much. Be quiet. Make sure that everyone else is comfortable first. And that actually places your kid in a place of danger. I ended up being in a couple of abusive relationships because I thought, well, I've always been told I'm too much. But the thing is that
But see, that's also a safety response from the generation that raised me. I'm Gen X. There were
so am I. You are only 4 years older than me.
You look so good. You look so good.
You.
I couldn't tell. But it's in our generation. If you were too much or you shined too brightly, you had a target on your back. And so it's the same way when we teach our young boys. Make sure if you get pulled over by a cop, hands at 10 and 2. Yes. It prevents them from flying. But it's dangerous for us to fly sometimes. So
I agree with you, but I think that there's a way to teach our kids to be safe without compromising the integrity of who they are.
I agree.
And allowing them
It's explaining it.
Yes.
For example, when I was a child, my mom would make me wear baggy clothes. She's like, you don't want people to think this, this, and this. But if you don't fully explain it, there's nothing wrong with you and your body. It's the older men or the older people. That's why, I think it's just explaining. Kids are very resilient in that way if you just explain.
And also, they get it. We think, oh, they're a kid, they don't get it yet. They get it. So just be truthful with them. Be honest. When I was sick, I told my kid the whole time what was going on because I didn't want him to feel like something was wrong and then have like trauma from it. Right. And because of that, he didn't. I was always honest with him because they get it. Yeah. And, you know, while we're raising our kids, you know, like every time I see a mum like trying to like make her daughter be like a little less, I'm like, why? Like, let her, she's going to need that when she's older. She's going to need that fire. So, yeah, okay, teach her manners, but, like, you still want to have that fire.
Can I just share just a little quick story? I'm going to tell it real quick. There was a mall, there's an outside mall in Century City. For a while, they had an outdoor fountain that was surrounded by a seating area for people to eat. I don't know why they made this decision. It was not a good decision. One day I was there. It's been changed. It's remodeled now. It's really nice now. I was there one day, and there was a group of little white kids taking rocks out of the fountain and chucking it. Like, you know how you skip rocks? And they were doing that, and the water was splashing on people and splashing on the food of the people. I don't know where their parents were. Parents might have been right there. You know how that goes. But it felt like they had a freedom that no Black child has ever had. Now, did anybody die because some water splashed on their food? No. Was it a great thing to do to someone's food? No. But those kids had a great time chucking rocks. And all I kept thinking about was, I have not chucked a rock in my entire life.
No, but it's true. And we do still teach that. I had someone caring for my kid who had him in the yard throwing rocks at lizards and I was like, that is a Black child. Like I cannot, you know. So absolutely, we still have to like make sure that, because you know, like a little boy with a stick, a little white boy with a stick is very different than a little Black boy with a stick.
A Black boy dead with a stick.
So it's like,
y'all know it's true. I'm not lying.
But it's that walking the line of making sure they're safe. Yeah. But also, it took me so long to get to the point where I realized, no, I have the right to have my voice and give my opinion. And when people say that I'm too much or I'm aggressive or whatever it is, it's like, no, like maybe I'm too much for you, but that's your problem. Like, I'm sorry, you're not enough for this, you know?
And I love that you said that when you talk about you have the right, because it's called personal bill of rights, knowing that you have the right to change your mind. You have the right to be in healthy environments. And I want to shift us a little bit because of what you said. When you think about being in this industry, healthy environments, talk to us about how do you manage your mental health? How do you stay grounded when there's so much happening around you? How do you stay centered?
Can baby girl go first? Because I feel like we have just been monopolizing this conversation.
Yeah. Okay,
I've been enjoying what you guys have to say. I'm like, let me write that down.
Yeah. Okay. Tell us about your mental health, baby girl.
You know, what really keeps me grounded, I come from a very spiritual family, right? My mom, she's Mexican, and my father, he's Black, right? And my mom, she practices a lot of self-love and grounding rituals, and she gives me these sprays and these powders and stuff to put all over myself in my room. And that is really what grounds me, is my family and recognizing where I come from, and personally them not letting me forget exactly who I am and staying connected to your culture. I feel like now traditions are lost, and that's something that's extremely important to me, is routine, culture, and tradition. And just really being around my grandparents. They come from Sinaloa, Mexico. So knowing who I am is what helps me just stay in place and stay present.
What about you, Taylor?
I definitely, the spiritual aspect of it, I believe in God. I pray. I'm a woman of faith, and that is my own personal relationship that keeps me grounded in life. And I think it does definitely keep me grounded in my career, but my family, and that is everything, having and knowing myself in my core. And when I start to feel unsettled or anxious, I know that that's not my natural disposition. Like, that's not me. And I'm giving myself way too much power over this thing, over this life. So I have my morning routine. I create boundaries with social media.
Can you talk about that?
Teach
what
me
does
your
that look
ways.
like?
So I've never had notifications for social media, and I'm a kid of the internet. I'm a millennial. I've been on Twitter since 2009. Like, I've never had notifications. I think that was really helpful. But I changed like my entire relationship with social media when my show Beauty in Black came out. Oh, thank you. Just because working with Tyler Perry and having conversations with him, he's like, you got to tune everything out and do what God has intended for you. And so I was like, I love Twitter. Like, I laugh. I never troll, but I'll be watching the trolls. Like, it's funny. Like, I see it all in real time. And it was like, baby girl, delete that app. It is negative, nothing positive. Even laughing at other people, it's not positive. So I swapped that for books. I call people, and I will get the information. If it's wild enough, somebody's going to send it to me. So, and I don't check it. I have boundaries. I look at social media from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I'm off after that. Just really guarding my spirit and my mind. And I think if I'm able to do that, then I can stay grounded.
Right. I love that. What about you, Tokes?
So my husband is a mechanic and he is a very
Yes.
That's
A real man.
He's a lovely guy too. Lovely guy.
He is a very funny and
Handsome.
he is handsome guy, and but he's very practical. He's from a blue collar background, and he's a very practical guy, and he's very good at reminding me when I'm in a tizzy about something that's just really not that important. And I have, my father is also a very practical person. So, that's probably why I ended it, because we do marry our dads. Sorry, it's just, it does happen. But my husband is the main thing for me right now, because I really do see a big difference in how I am within my career since I got married. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
It's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm also a spiritual person. I love the Lord. I love the Lord. And me and Jesus are tight. But I've found that when I entered the industry, I told myself that the moment I had to leave Jesus behind to walk through a door, I would not walk through the door. That's the choice I made for me. I just certain things I can't do. I started on a kids show. Like I intentionally chose that because I knew that if I made that decision at the start of my career, it would guide the roles that I took for the rest of my career. Because Nickelodeon will run something forever. So every 2 or 3 years, a new generation of 9 and 12-year-olds are discovering a show I did 20 years ago. And I don't want to confuse them. I don't want to scare them with something that I've done. If they see me in something, almost, I say 90% of the time, it's something that they can watch with their parents or their grandparents as well. And that is the choice that I made. So that choice out of everything is what's helped me. Because we were talking before, share a little bit of what you said. Yeah. So we were talking before about, and you're going to get into this later, how you can leave a set and take some of that stuff with you.
Yes.
Right? So if you're playing a dark character or something that grieves your spirit, your personal spirit, that can stay with you and walk home with you. And I didn't want to have to deal with that. Life is tough enough as a Black woman in America. I didn't want to have to deal with a role that I did coming home with me, and now I'm having issues. So that also helps. What I choose to do and the roles I say yes to helps. And again, this is my choice. It's no judgment on what anyone else has chosen. And then also I have to say, if it's not a spouse, having someone in your life that truly gets you, truly knows you. It could be a family member, it could be a best friend, it could be a coworker, but you need to have someone in your life that when you are against the wall, they can look at you and go, come here, come on, talk to me with you. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. And right now, thankfully, after all these years, it is a husband for me. And my husband has this thing where if I come home and it's on me, he literally just stands at the door like this. He sees it. Tony will see it. And he just holds me. And it's the first time in my life, except with my mother, may she rest in peace, where I feel like a baby. Yeah. Everyone needs to be swaddled every now and again. You need someone to envelop you. And again, it doesn't have to be a spouse, but someone needs to know you and love you and be able to grab you up and hold you and calm that little, what they say, the nervous, dysregulated, regulate. Come on, regulate me. I need a little regulation. So I get that.
Help me
regulate. So I get that from my husband now, but it's important to have something like that in your life to if you can't get to Jesus, you can get to his hands and feet, which is the humans that are in your life.
Yeah, I love that. Jalen?
She started us
You
off. She
good?
talked about the mom and the dad.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah.
about to say, okay,
Oh,
you
go ahead.
good?
Oh, no, you were right. You were
She
right.
got in there. She started us
You're
off.
good. So one of the things I want to transition to is what you just talked about. And as a production therapist, I help actors de-roll. Right? De-roll is the process of taking off the psyche and the behaviors and the nervous system of the characters that you portray. A lot of times actors, especially method actors, can get trapped in the psyche of their character. And I remember I sat down with another actor and she shared with me, she said, Candace, I torture myself to entertain y'all. Because she taps into unhealed experiences to bring out that authenticity of emotions and feelings to the character. So when it comes to the different roles that you select, how do you prepare emotionally and psychologically? Because the mind is one of the most important and powerful parts of our being, but it's also the most fragile. And sometimes the mind cannot differentiate between reality and fallacy. So it's being absorbed into your nervous system. So how do you effectively de-roll? Because as actors, statistically, it does show, research shows that you're more prone to depression and anxiety and self-destructive behaviors. And I believe because you have to tap into these characters, you're utilizing your vessel, your mind, all of you to transform. So how do you come out of it and come back home to yourself?
When I was in university, I
So British.
so when I was in college,
Thank you.
I suffered from this greatly, and I had a professor who was keeping an eye on me, and she pulled me aside after a class once, and she said, "I've seen you go through a few shows, and now this class, we had an exercise that we did." She said, "I can still see it on you," and she talked me through this process of when I am disrobing and taking my makeup off and all of that. It's a ceremony, right? And it's the ceremony of leaving that character at work and coming back to yourself. So even when I am rehearsing for something, I have clothing that I don't normally wear in my life. Like I have rehearsal clothing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
And so because I actively had to be taught that because it was affecting me. It really, really was. And she was seeing it. Wow. And it is something that I actually haven't even thought of in probably decades at this point because she taught me to do it and it actually just became part of what I do. But it's a whole process and I will not usually, I need to do the last part of it at home. And I'm just realizing now I'm asked, do you want to wipe off your makeup? I always leave set with my makeup on. Always leave set with my makeup on because I want to do it at home.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to take that off at home.
I feel like, I'm sorry.
No, go, baby.
Okay. I feel like I had just did a role in American Sports Story playing Shayana, right? And that was the first time I really discovered the ugliest parts of myself, having to be so sad every single day. Imagine getting cheated on, imagine this, imagine that. And I didn't realize that you had to derobe. I didn't know that because all the characters I played before, it was, light, funny, oh, haha. But when I got home, I was just looking at myself in the mirror, not recognizing who this was. I'm like, I don't feel good. So I didn't even realize that I had to come up with a routine. I didn't realize that I had to separate myself that much because I'm not going to lie, before I did this role, whenever I would see actors go into I took the character home with me. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Just go home and take a shower, And then your girl did it. And I was shocked, and it just honestly
Not me.
It was a blessing to have that happen to me because obviously 1, it taught me do not judge. 2, it also taught me okay, Jalen, you needed to take better care of yourself. You matter more than just being on set. You matter at home too. And honestly, I'm really still trying to figure that out how to derobe. But I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take what you said.
Similar to Jalen, I was like, they're tripping.
Right?
if you don't go home, like we're playing pretend. I'm not a method actor. I'm a whatever works to get what I need. So if I'm playing pretend, I'm playing pretend. But I was working on a project and we were being witches and we were out in a field in the middle of the night and there was like this occult symbol on fire. We're casting spells. It was storming. Like it was a lot going on. And I went home that night and I had bad dreams, like very evil dreams. And I was like, I gotta separate myself. Like I have to have a process before I go home. So I love music. I make a playlist for every character that I play. So I started making a playlist for me, like Positively Taylor is what it's called. And I listen to that as soon as I rap. When I'm changing my clothes, I put that on and it's like I'm putting the character to the side for the night and it's time to come back to me. And the makeup thing is important too. I only take my makeup off at home as well because the shower and really just take my hair down. All of that is part of the routine of I'm home. This is me now.
I have a different, because I'm a hack. I don't have any of these things.
If you say that,
all
well,
right,
that's
okay,
fine.
okay.
That.
Well, I have a different. I want to come at it from another part. Although who you see in the street, if you see me, and who you see up here or on a set is the same, there is a level of. There's another level, a gear I shift into if I know I'm going to be around people, because and people are surprised to figure this out. I'm an introvert. I really am very quiet. I really like to be by myself. I have my little cave at home. That's who I am. I need to recharge, and peopling takes a lot out of me. So if I am on set or even somewhere here, I need to until at least 2:00, I'm gonna be in the bed getting myself together. What I needed to learn how to modulate is how much of myself I give to others, because it can be insatiable at times, depending on where you are. And again, if it's the babies, I'm gonna find the energy for the babies at all times. But sometimes you'll meet an older person who doesn't understand boundaries or doesn't understand. I've had people I don't know come up and kiss me. That's a lot, everybody. So don't do that to nobody. So I have to learn. It's rough, girl. So I have to learn how much of myself that they deserve, or they that's not the right word. They deserve my best, but how much of me I get to keep for me, and how much of Yvette Nicole Brown I have to be on any given day, because Yvette Nicole Brown is very different from Yvette Brown from East Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Yvette Brown from East Cleveland will go, how you doing? She's here. Yvette Nicole Brown, hey! That's a lot of energy for an introvert to put out, and I probably need to trust people more and trust that they'll be okay with Yvette from East Cleveland too, right? I have to trust that they can see the difference between the two. I don't know that I'm there yet. So I'm still, if there is a mask that I have not released yet, it's that need to be so on for the benefit of others, even if
But that's because you're a caretaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like,
we're going
you're
to
always
get
making
into
sure
that.
everyone's okay.
Everyone's okay. But the lesson that I've learned is I always used to say that on my tombstone, I wanted to say she wanted everybody to be okay. Aww. Because that is the truth of my life. I want everybody to be all okay, the temperature all right, and everybody all right. But at the same time, my mother said to me once, aren't you everybody too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't you count in that? So shouldn't you want you to be okay? And I'm the great Viola Davis, who I try to invoke her any chance I get. She said recently, I saw it on Instagram, she said, if there's a choice between disappointing yourself and disappointing others, always disappoint others. Yeah. And that's something that a people pleaser does not understand, does not grasp. So it's a process.
Yeah, and that is called self-preservation. It's not selfish to prioritize yourself. That's self-full. Because if your cup is full, think about it, the cup and the saucer. Everything that is connected to you is that saucer. You have to fill your cup first, and then everybody and everything that's connected to you, they get the richness of your overflow. But it's not selfish, it's self-full, and it's self-preservation. And thinking about what Tokes just said about you being a caregiver, Yvette, you're very vulnerable. You're very public when it comes to your own lived experiences with your dad and his dementia diagnosis. How has being his caretaker, because it's you, How has that shifted your life while still being a working actor? Because all of us have our families, we have our own lived experiences. And again, you are a human being before you're an actor. So how do you balance that? Because balance is subjective. Is there a balance to it?
I don't know. I don't know for me that there is. My life shifted seismically when I decided to take care of my dad. I quit community. I went to Cleveland to get him. I moved him in with me. First time ever living with my dad ever, because I was a child of divorce. So it was the first time waking up and seeing my dad in pajamas and having breakfast and all of those things. I have said and will always say it's the toughest, best thing I ever did, or the best tough thing I've ever did. We are in our 12th and a half year. He's now in a board and care because he no longer can walk, and I couldn't get to that level of care that I needed to get to make sure he was okay. But I had him in the house with me for 11 and a half years. And so every acting decision was funneled through, do I have care for dad? Is he going to be okay? Where is he at right now? But I can say this, and with 100% truthfulness, I do not regret a thing about it. It was the most wonderful lesson for me to learn about what love truly is, because love is sacrificial. And I don't have children, so I don't know. Mothers know, mother and fathers know that it's sacrificial. I never had to move through life putting someone else's needs down to the bare minimum before my own. And I literally, if it was between me and my dad eating, my dad was going to eat. If it was me and my dad being comfortable, my dad was going to be comfortable. But I don't regret it. I have a podcast now called Squeeze, which is all about caregiving. I hope you guys will check it out, because not just because it's mine or whatever, because we're all going to either be a caregiver or a caregivee before we leave here. Every single one of us. And if you're a parent, you already are. You just don't call yourself a caregiver, but that's what you are. And so it's important to learn now before it's your turn what it takes. And I'm going to tell you what it takes. It's just loving people. It's just loving people. And most people in here are already doing it. If you're not a parent, you're getting your aunt Instacart food and sending it back to Peoria somewhere. You're making sure your friend who just had surgery gets a casserole. I'm old. Casserole. That's what you used to do, casserole. You're making sure she gets DoorDash delivery, okay, for the young people. These are the things that you do, and you don't think of it as being a caregiver, but it is being a caregiver. So it's important to lean into what that will be for you, because it is coming for you, and that's not scary. It's not bad news. It may be scary, but it's not bad news. You will learn more about yourself as a caregiver than you ever will know outside of it. So lean in and answer your phone when it rings. Doggone it. Yeah. It's all right, girl. It's all right. She thought it was off, and we have all done it. Girl, it happens every time.
I love that you're teaching us the beauty of duality.
It's wonderful. And you have to cut yourself slack, you guys, because we can do all things, but we can't do all things at once. Right? So you have to allow yourself seasons of time where it's a caregiving season, or it's a work really hard season, or it's a fall in love season, or it's to be sad and working through it season. It's a mental health struggle season, but it's all just a season. The beautiful thing about seasons, if you like spring, you're going to get about 3 months of it. If you hate spring, you're only going to get about 3 months of it. So that's the beauty of seasons. They come to go. You just got to ride it out until it's the next one. So that's what it's all about.
Also, though, and I mean, women for the most part, but most especially Black women, we need to rest.
What's that?
Rest.
It's productive.
This one, I have written this one like pages of texts of you need to do this, you need to do that. Because I'm telling you, and I hate to bring this up for the 7,000th time, but I got sick because I didn't rest, because I was doing everything, because I was sleep deprived. And I was the healthiest person ever. Vegan, exercised every single day, drank all my water, took all my supplements, blah, 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 blah. I did not rest. I did not sleep. I did not take a vacation for over 13 years because I thought I was going to miss out on something and I've got to do this. You have to take time to rest. And I'll tell you, one of the big things with us is that we have been told for so long that we're lazy. Right?
It's a lie
and
from the
we
pit.
equate being lazy with resting. No, not the same. Not the same. You need to rest. Your body literally needs it in order to do what it needs to do. So that is like number one. Learn to rest. You have to learn to rest. Otherwise, you will get sick. Learn to rest.
It's a good word.
Learn to rest.
I know. She tells me all the time. She tells me all the time.
Have you all learned the power in the sacredness of your no? Yeah. Talk to us about that.
I try to give people this gift sometimes when I ask a question.
She does.
I will say, no is an acceptable answer, and it is a complete sentence. Right? Because I do this thing too. You know, you write an email and it's like, well, because I'm, the babysitter and the this and the that and the blah, 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 and then I look at the whole email and I erase all of it except I can't make it on Tuesday. Right? Like, you don't have to explain all of it. Right? And it now, my ability to say no, I actually get proud of myself because it used to be so hard to do.
Yes.
So hard.
I think as a recovering people pleaser, I am learning that no is a complete sentence. But instead of framing it, I feel like as something negative, or even in terms of acting, there used to be a time where I wouldn't think in a million years I would tell someone from my team, an agent or manager, no thank you on a script or an audition. But I've learned with the power of no, you create space for the yes that you do want or that is aligned. So I don't see it so much as like, no, I'm not doing that. No, like shutting it down. It's like, no, I can't do that because I want space for this, for what I actually want, or to rest, or, it creates space for what you want. Anything that you do not want, you should absolutely say no to immediately so that you can get the yes.
And also give the people that gift. Like, allow people to say no. Don't be upset when they say no. Like, understand. Like, I don't care if it's because you just want to stay home and take a bubble bath. If you don't want to go to dinner tonight, just tell me. And we won't go to dinner.
Right.
Stop. Like, because sometimes we do that to each other. It's like, well, you told me you were going to do it. No. Just be okay with someone saying that you can't, it's fine. Give each other that gift as well.
Baby girl.
I feel like I hear a trend of actors being people pleasers because I'm a people pleaser too.
crazy.
Is that just part of the profession?
We're entertainers.
Where do you think that stems from when you think about the root of that, seeing that at the root of people pleasing, it could be fear, it can be fear of perception. For each of you, what do you think that is as
ADHD.
an actor? Yeah.
I know for me, it was adaptability. I actually learned this when I began therapy. I am very adaptable in any environment. I can figure it out. But my therapist was like, that is a strength, but it means nothing if you don't know your core and how you really feel. Mm-hmm. If you just go with the wind of, okay, that's what we're doing, you're not pleasing, like you're pleasing people, but at what cost? So I had to take time to be like, what do I like? Mm-hmm. And some of this even stemmed from an eating disorder. It's all rooted in something. And as I was trying to heal that, I was unearthing all these things. And it was like, girl, you got to know yourself. You have to know yourself. So for me, it stemmed from, I just wanted to adapt wherever I was to fit in. And when I started to shed that, it's not that I don't want people to be pleased, but I want myself to be pleased as well.
Yeah.
Baby girl. All right. Gotta bring her in like that. We talking a lot. I needed to get it.
Listen, you guys have a lot more to say. You guys have been in the business. You guys get it. For me, it really comes from wanting acceptance and, wanting people to see like, hey, I can do this. And I always wondered, I'm like, why do I want people to see me like this? Like, what is it in me? And I'm still searching for that answer, but I just really want to be accepted. And I'm not sure why.
It's because people don't see us.
They don't see us.
And, I feel like being a child actor, right? And, obviously I have light skin privilege. So like we were talking about masking, you know what I mean? That I didn't really have to mask. And my mom never told me that I had to, right? It really just, you would go on set and you would still be treated poorly, right? You go on set and when you're a young Black girl, you obviously get treated differently. You have to, follow a different set of rules. And I feel like that's what drove me to continue to act, is wanting to be accepted. And I mean, yeah, that's really it.
When you think about your younger self as a storyteller, as an actor, when you first became an actor, what would you say to your younger self? As an actor, what would you say to your
believe
younger
we get
self?
to do this? Like, it was so shocking to me that I'm in this business even to this day. I moved to LA after college and I was like, I want to do one commercial and I want to be on one sitcom. Like, if I can accomplish that, this will be so one. I don't know, because I was a singer. Like, I wasn't thinking that acting was going to be the thing. And, that I'm, 26, 27 years into this and I've done so much. It all feels like gravy to me. It all feels like icing on a cake that I never thought I was going to get. So I think little Yvette would be so pleased and so shocked, because even though I didn't necessarily think this could be a career for me, I loved television when I was a kid. Oh my God, I would watch, Different Strokes and Fame, and just marvel at all of those amazing performers and Good Times and Kim Fields and little Janet Jackson. Like, I was all about that. And so for me to see myself in those two women in particular, and then to grow up and work in this industry and know them and know all of these people, and my friend Vanessa Williams in the front, like this is all like so amazing. And I have never lost the sense of wonder. Like, I still, as far as I am into this, I can still have moments where I'm like, that's so cool. Like, even being here with the SAG Foundation, this is not a small thing that they asked us to speak and that they've created this space for all of us to be together. So I don't take anything for granted. I remember when the first commercial I ever did was 1-800-CALL-ATT with DL Hughley. And when I got to the set, this is how long ago it was, y'all, to collect call, pay phones, the whole thing. I got on the set and it was the first time my name was on anything, that wasn't a bill. So I got there and saw my name on the door and I was so excited, and I was taking a picture in front of the door, and DL was arriving. He had the car and the whole thing. I probably rode the bus to set it. I was so poor. And he saw me taking a picture, and I was in, I call them the poo-poo trailers. Y'all know the trailers that are like 20 of them. And I say poo-poo because it always smell like poo. It doesn't matter where you are in the chain, how far you are from the toilet, your room in that line is going to smell like poo-poo. So it was the poo-poo trailer. And so DL came up to me, seeing me taking a picture of myself in front of this door. And he goes, why are you taking a picture in front of the bathroom? And I said, this is my trailer, man. Like, I was so excited. And he laughed. He knew it was my trailer. But he said to me later in that day, he said, you have such a sense of wonder and you have such excitement about this business. Please never lose it. Please never lose it. And thank you. And so DL and I are now friends. I consider him a friend, and I've done his radio show and whatever. And he always, when I see him, he goes, you never lost it. Like, you still are as happy and as joyful and as open and as caring as you were that day. And so I think little Yvette would just be over the moon that this is the career I get to do. She'd be over the moon.
Yeah. Love that. I would tell little Taylor, girl, you always knew. Like, you really knew. I love children. I'm a child advocate for youth and foster care. So I love children so much. And I think it is no easy feat to be an adult that still has wonder, that still holds on to who your inner child was. And it fascinates me. And I've been through different journeys, especially through my 20s, in college, like all these different things, trying on who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? And I really think my 4-year-old self always knew who I wanted to be and what I was comfortable with and what I wasn't. And the world tried to makes you not think those things. But it was like, no, you really always knew. You wanted to tell stories and you wanted to play and you wanted to meet people and you wanted to learn how people think and operate. Yeah. And so I would be like, girl, you really knew. And I think, it's just a confirmation as I'm stepping into the things that I dreamed about. It was always my dream. I didn't really have a different dream. It was all the outside factors making me feel like, oh, maybe it wasn't it. Maybe it wasn't it. But I knew. Yeah.
I would say the same thing. I felt like I always knew, too, exactly what I wanted to do. And I think I would tell myself, girl, you just keep being yourself and speak up. Don't be afraid to say how you feel. Yeah. because sometimes you're on set and you like, oh, I don't like the way my hair looks, I don't like this, because again, you're the black girl and you can't do too much because then otherwise they might fire you.
Oh, never.
And listen, I've been fired before, but it's okay though. It's okay, because what happened to the show? I don't even know it anymore.
Hello.
Okay.
That's because they fired you.
Because they
Shouldn't
fired
fire
Right.
you.
They were fine.
No, but I remember being on set. It was a quick story. It was on a Nickelodeon show, Nick at Night show, a very particular one. Anyway,
Name it.
Okay, I'll say it behind stage. And we have the schoolroom, and there was a couple other actors there. There was this one teenage girl. She played my best friend in the show. Her and her mom were a pill and a half, okay? And I remember there was this one particular day where they had moved schoolrooms, and there were these office chairs. They were black, they're comfortable. There was only 2 of them, and then one regular chair, right? And I walk in first and I sit down at the comfy chair, because why not? The other little boy sits down at the other comfy chair, and the mom of the teenage girl walks in and she sees me, and then she sees the boy and she goes, Jalen, do you mind getting up so Ryan can sit there because her back hurts? And my mom came, she looked at me, she said, get up.
Yes, Mom.
And I said, because I knew as soon as she told me that, I'm like, here we go. My mom took the teacher to the back and was like, Rosa Parks did not sit in front of the bus for
Mom.
my daughter.
Come on, Mom.
Yes,
For
Mom.
my daughter to have to give her seat up for this white girl. She's like, absolutely not. She's going to stay right there. So that's why I got fired after that, But in that moment, I didn't have
Job
the
well
voice.
done, Mom.
Exactly. Shout out to Edna Barron. She's over there somewhere. There
she is.
Oh, there she go. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
I didn't have the voice to do that, and I appreciate her so much for doing that. But it was little microaggressions like that really hurt me, and I think that's what led to me wanting to be accepted. But I would just tell myself to speak up a little bit more and not be afraid.
There are 2 things I would say. The first would be you have ADHD, but it was 1979 and no one knew what that was, so it's fine. But I really, really wish I had known because it's so hard. But I think that the other thing that I would say is that, oh God, don't cry, is you are enough. Because I always thought that there was something wrong with me.
No, baby, you're fabulous. You are.
I always
fabulous.
thought there was something wrong with me.
You're fabulous. Do you hear me? Look at me.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Learn how to rest.
I will. This is what we do, guys. We send videos and texts to each other all the time.
Thank you for your vulnerability. All of you, as we wrap, what message would you leave with your peers when it comes to being a Black woman in this industry?
Okay, there's something I've been wanting to say, and I don't know if we have enough time for this, but so as Black people, we all come from the same place. And if you are a Black person from this country, you most likely come from West Africa, which is where I'm from. And I'm Yoruba, and we have a tradition of storytelling. That's what we do, that's what we are. Especially the women. The women are in charge of the storytelling. And the storytelling is the holding of space, like keeping the truth of what has happened between history and between those to come, right? You're holding the data, right? But because for hundreds and hundreds of years, we were colonized by, one white person or whatever, we had to speak those truths in different ways. And so a lot of those stories became about animals or morals or whatever. But there is, when you say ashe, right? So that is speaking something into being, right? So que sera, sera, whatever will be, but you speak it into being. You use oro, which are your words, right? And the words are gifts. So you are using your gift. Black women have always been storytellers. We have always been the holders of truth, right? We have always been the ones in charge of the story. It's in our DNA. It's literally in our DNA. You have to remember this as an actor. You were born to do this. You're a born storyteller. It's what we do. And for those of you who are descended from the slaves, the people who were taken from where I was born, you needed to do this to stay alive. You needed to do this to hold on to who we are so you could pass that along to those who you are going to give birth to. And so we are still doing that. Those who are going to come after us, we need to tell our stories. Because when we allow other people to tell our stories, it's not real, it's not the truth.
Yes.
And so we need to keep on stepping into that truth. And we are now being given the tools to be unafraid and support each other and see each other and expose the things that shouldn't be there. I just want you all to remember that we are a sisterhood of storytellers.
I think I would tell my peers, hello everyone in the room, my peers and those watching, cut yourself some slack. Give yourself some space. Realize that you are going to have exactly the career that you're supposed to have, and make your peace with it, maybe not looking the way you expected it to look. It doesn't mean that it's not valid. It doesn't mean that you haven't changed someone's life or trajectory with your art. It's important that we realize that competition is vapor. It's a lie. It's a lie that they've been telling us, those of us, especially of the descendants of the enslaved, they've been telling us that our whole time on this earth, that there's somebody that's better than us, stronger than us, cuter than us, that's going to take our slot. No one can take your slot. No one can take your job. There's something that I do amongst my friends that I've been in the business with forever. If I find out about an audition, I call and say, they're looking for us. You better go on, get down there. John Smith, he's on Wilshire. That this is the role. These are the sides. You know, they seeing people till Tuesday. Call your people and get in. Because if it is my job, I'm going to book it. And if it's my friend's job, how excited would I be that I'm the one that told her to go for it?
Yep. Yes.
There is nothing that you are going to have that is in someone else's pocket. Nobody is taking your job. No one can take your job. And the sooner we all realize that and realize that we are not in competition with each other, the better it's going to be for all of us. So lean into it, celebrate your wins, celebrate other people's wins. If you see my social media, I talk about other people's stuff way more than I talk about mine. I be like, so-and-so got a movie, so-and-so got a book, so-and-so's doing a TV show. Go see. I believe in celebrating everybody's gifts, because when I celebrate you guys, I rise too, because I rise in joy. Wow. No one, there's a saying that I love, and I'm gonna wrap it up. There's a saying that I love. No, a candle loses nothing by lighting another. A candle loses nothing by lighting another. Light other people's candles and allow them to light yours. And don't think that somebody's doing something tricky because they're being nice to you. Let's just, in this world that we're in right now, we have got to open up and love each other more. And not just the ones that live in our houses. We got to reach out and love everybody. You are all my sisters. And anyone in here that knows me or has reached out to me in DM, I will write you right back. I will talk to you. I am open and available. And we need to all be more open and available.
We are a community.
Absolutely.
Sisterhood.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say advice to my peers is don't get lost in the sauce, right? The internet, sure, okay, we live in an internet generation, but to me, it doesn't matter. You know, we have the algorithms, we have TikTok, what's trending. As long as you're doing artwork that fulfills your soul is the only thing that should really matter. Not how many likes you get, not who's reposting you, this and that, how many shares or views. I did my job and I'm going to go home. Don't worry about networking. I mean, you know, it's the smallest part of this job. The biggest part is how you feel when you go back home, and that's the most important.
You have the final word.
Oh, the final word.
Bring it home.
Woo. Help me. I would just say to my fellow actors, the sisterhood of storytellers, I love that. Yeah. I love that. Keep going. There's a reason why you're here. I know it's very easy to look at the state of the industry, to look at the trades and get very bogged down. Even having conversations with other actors sometimes, it can feel very negative. I have to shout out my sis Gail Bean is
Come
right
on here,
there.
Gail Bean, front row.
There have
Talented
been, this is why the sisterhood of storytellers is important. I remember before taking a job, I was weighing the odds. I was talking to Gail, and it's easy to think of everything wrong. She said, but think of everything that could be right. And so I want to tell this particular room, choose joy, choose to think of what could go right, and also understand the opportunity to do what we do. This is a beautiful career. We've never had stability in this career. You're an artist. You're not an artist to be rich and famous. You're an artist because you want to tell stories. You want to feel, you want to make people feel. So always remember that at the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows, it's an honor to be an artist. And as she said, this SAG-AFTRA Foundation is no small feat being here and putting on programming for Black women and mental health for artists. When I first moved to LA, I utilized every single resource the SAG-AFTRA Foundation had. I was getting my dues worth. In that voiceover lab, every casting workshop, every casting access, I did everything. And so to sit here speaking to my fellow peers, it is possible. We are in Los Angeles. Sometimes the industry will make you feel like, oh, this is happening in Los Angeles. This is LA. You're in Hollywood, baby. Dreams are still happening. Like, seriously. And when you get too bogged down, get back to the core of it. You're an artist, and it is an honor to do what we do.
And one more thing I want to say, if you have a chance to donate to the SAG-AFTRA Foundation, please do. They are one of our biggest safety nets that we have. NPTF is the other, but SAG-AFTRA Foundation, what is the other? Actors Fund is the other one. Those three are the things that keep us afloat when things are rough. And the workshops the workshops and everything that they offer here, that's not free. Somebody got to be paid to turn the lights on and bring people in to speak to you and all that. So it doesn't have to be a lot, $1, $5, whatever you have. Give, pay it forward. And this is a great organization to do it with.
Yeah. I have one more thing to say. My therapist also always told me it's not happening to you, it's happening for you.
Hey!
Yes. So that's the word
Mindset
right there.
shift.
That one changed my life.
Mindset shift. Yes. Taylor, Yvette, Tugs, Jalen, thank you all so much. Thank you for your artistry. Thank you for your yes. Thank you for your gift. Thank you to the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. And thank all of you for coming out.